This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Baltimore Orioles POSTCAST. We stream this live to YouTube on the Locked On Podcast Network. My name is Luke Slabaugh. As always, I am your post-game show host here, covering everything Orioles, all the games this season. Final score tonight, the Baltimore Orioles 0 and the Boston Red Sox 5. Go ahead, if you're new here, you're tuning in for the first time, like, subscribe, all those things. Daily Orioles content, the Locked On Orioles show, of course, brought to you 5 days a week by Connor Newcomb, and I plug in the gaps. Riley commenting live on YouTube right now. Great profile picture, Riley. The O's putting up a bagel and run support for the return of Kyle Bradish. Woof. Narniak comments, an absolute disgrace and an insult to Kyle Bradish, the ace returning. And we'll talk about that. And Graham Pfluger appears to be a first-time commenter. Welcome, Graham. Be sure to like, subscribe. Says, "Wie my machine, last game as an Oriole?" Could be. And we'll talk about all that. This is the Locked On Orioles postcast, and so much to get into here in the next 15, 20 minutes. The fourth shutout loss of the month for the O's. Post-trade deadline, the momentum has taken a downturn here in August. Yeah, you've got Dylan Beavers and Samuel Basallo there fortifying the middle to bottom of the lineup, allegedly. Trying to make an impact, trying to get a feel for who will make the cut in 2026. 14th shutout loss of the year for the O's behind the return of Kyle Bradish, their ace, the right-hander. And first, we're going to talk about him.
This is what you'll be talking about.
What were your expectations going into this start? Kyle Bradish had a lengthy rehab in his return from Tommy John surgery. Spent many outings at AAA Norfolk, extending himself to 80, 90 pitches. So you got to get a feel for how he looks. In my view, if he'd have gone 5 innings, clean innings, 60 pitches, no walks, a couple runs given up, success. The goal for Kyle Bradish is not to overextend himself in September. These are not high leverage situations. Don't get hurt. Prep for 2026. Just feel good going into the offseason. Don't re-aggravate your injury either. And how did his stuff look tonight? Early on, looked like an ace. Had the cadence of an ace. Yeah, you've got the emotions and the adrenaline pumping there in the top of the first. And we saw the fastball topping out at 98 miles an hour. And even the two-seam getting up there at 97. First batter he faces, Roman Anthony, behind 2-0 in the count. Busts him inside with a two-seamer at 96, gets him to pop out to second base. Alex Bregman then striking out on an 0-2 slider. And then Jarren Duran works a full count, and he goes down looking at a two-seamer. Incredible stuff from Kyle Bradish out the gate. The fans giving him a nice nod. And then,
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The tie game, scoreless game is gone in the blink of an eye. Top second, Trevor Story. First pitch he sees goes ding-dong. Slider low and in at 95. Had it well-timed. Hits a home run to left field. His 200th of his career. And it's quickly 1-0. Good on Kyle Bradish for recovering right afterwards. No walks in this outing. Strikes out Masataka Yoshida on a curveball in the dirt. And then Ceddanne Rafaela on a four-seam fastball high at 96. Double open the top of the third. Again, first pitch to David Hamilton. He of the 556 OPS. Gets a two-seamer he likes, hits a home run to left field, makes it a 2-0 ballgame. And that was pretty much all the Red Sox needed. Kyle Bradish picked himself up and was clean the rest of the way. No hard contact after that. Got Carlos Narvaez on a full count to strike out at a two-seamer at the knees in that same frame. Getting Duran on a curve in the dirt in the top of the fourth. Trevor Story, some revenge, getting him looking, a two-seamer on the corner. And in the top of the fifth, started to see the velocity dip just a little bit. That fastball velo four-seamer going from 98 to now 92, 93, 94. Kind of average. I'll say for the first stretch, it was nice to see an Orioles starter not be cruising at 91, 92 and trying to out-finesse a good hitting team like the Red Sox. Even still, he gets Narvaez looking on a two-seamer to end that fifth. And in the sixth, gives up a hit to Roman Anthony, and promptly a two-seamer to Alex Bregman. He rolls over on it. A 6-3 double play, Gunnar Henderson to Samuel Basayo playing first base. Final batter that Bradish sees, strikes out Jarren Duran, a 1-2 count, two-seamer outside, touching 94. 10 strikeouts for Kyle Bradish. It ties this season's mark by an Oriole pitcher. Charlie Morton did it in his second start of the year. Tied it again against the Angels. Cade Povich had 10 strikeouts recently in relief. In the final line on Bradish, 6 innings, 2 earned runs on the 2 home runs, 4 hits total, no walks, 10 Ks. 15 whiffs, 5 of which come on the curve, 5 on the slider, 3 on the 2-seam, and 2 on the 4-seam. Unfortunately, the supporting cast did not seem interested in having serious at-bats. Lucas Giolito, the right-hander for Boston, has had their number all season. 15 scoreless innings over 2 outings, and we'll get to that. The effort was lacking there in the final couple innings. The O's made some rookie mistakes, some focus mistakes. What could have been a closer game or could have been a more competitive game was lost again. And the O's, of course, had issues with runners in scoring position last night, 1 for 8. And tonight, 0 for 5. Some unserious baseball that we should address head on, and that's coming up after the break. This is the Orioles Postcast. Stick with us. Every day, 5-hour energy. Every day. Every day, drink it. Transfusion's the new flavor. Grape, ginger, lime. That's a golf course drink, I am told. I don't drink alcohol, but I drink 5-hour energy. And you should too. Push through your day. Get that caffeine. It's good for you. It's so good for you. Golf's all about good times with good people. 5-hour energy will naturally make you feel good, so drink it. Grape, ginger, lime, transfusion flavor gives you the best part of the best drink of all time. Amp up the fun even more with this special offer. Get this, amazing offer. Buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Any golf tournament except for one. Tee up the trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters. Because, yeah. Ends October 31st, 2025. Let's talk about FanDuel. Today is the day. August 26th. That's the day, right? Tuesday. FanDuel Futures Day. A brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. You better listen up. You've got limited time. This 24-hour span, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions, MVP, long shot division winners. Crown your Super Bowl champion before week 1 kicks off. This is your moment. Take a flyer on the MVP race, Deontay Johnson, looking for his 7th team in 24 hours. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. Well, let's talk about the offense and some unserious play that has resulted in less than spectacular results with runners in scoring position, and 8 shutout frames by Lucas Giolito. Former first-round pick by the Nats, was an all-star in Chicago for the White Sox, if memory serves, and for most of his career, been susceptible to the long ball. Giolito was awesome in May against the Red Sox. You'll remember that weekend series. He pitched the same day that Trevor Rogers made his season debut. Rogers went 6 and 2/3 scoreless. Giolito went 7. That was a pitcher's duel, a game that the O's eventually won by scoring 2 runs in the final 2 innings. And Giolito, of course, gave up 40 home runs a couple seasons ago, if memory serves correctly. The only well-struck fly ball against Giolito today was on Dylan Beaver's double. And that was it. 8 shutout frames, fastball averaging 94 miles an hour, the change averaging 81. So there's a good discrepancy there between the fastball velo and the changeup. Certainly had the O's off balance. But you're starting to 130 games into this slog, you're starting to see some habits. Whether it's Jackson Holliday skewering himself into the ground on any off-speed pitch that's out and over the plate, rolling over on it. That Dylan Beavers double coming in the 5th, by the way, with no real support behind it. But late in this game, Giolito gave the O's some opportunities to get back into this. Bottom 6, Alex Jackson catching well, OPSing over 800, part of a 2-hit night for him. An 0-2 slider, he hits a slow tapper to Alex Bregman, tries foolishly to play it on the bare hand, and can't come up with it. Jackson Holliday flies out, but Jeremiah Jackson extends his great start to the year, hitting over 300. Hits a single to left field on a 1-2 slider. So you got runners at first base and second base. Middle of the order coming up. Gunnar Henderson. 2-2 four-seam fastball in at 95, doesn't protect the plate, gets called out. Strikeout. Colton Cowser then rolling over on one. Grounding out to Nathaniel Lowe at first base. Kills a rally with your heart of the order coming up. Bottom 7, you would think that starting to feel vulnerabilities in Giolito's pitch sequencing, that Samuel Basallo might take a pitch. Spoiler alert, he does not. The $70 million man, newly crowned, first pitch changeup off the plate, rolls over to second base. David Hamilton, having the game of his life, throws him out. Kobe Mayo, 2-pitch at bat, flies out to Roman Anthony in right. And Beavers, who hit a double 2 innings prior, first pitch, fastball outside at 94, spiked right into the ground to Hamilton. An unserious inning of 5 pitches in the 7th against Lucas Giolito. Jackson Holliday works a walk with 2 outs, bottom 8. Jeremiah Jackson works a full count, fouls off 5 pitches valiantly, and then the changeup at 82 rings him up. The 11th pitch of the sequence, he strikes out. That middle of the order, Henderson, Cowser, and Basallo go 2 for 12. 2 for 12 with those 2 singles coming in garbage time, top of the ninth, or bottom of the ninth rather, against lefty Justin Wilson. What else can we say without beating a broken record? The O's trailed 3-0 going into the ninth. Yarmil Geraldo on, trying to just get this thing to the bottom half of the inning. Trevor Story leads off with a single on a fastball high. No sweat, steals second base. Nathaniel Lowe then walks. And the last batter that Geraldo sees, striking out Masataka Yoshida on a changeup. So 1 out, top 9, down 3-0, right-hander Yennier Cano in. Kind of a dog-in-it play by Vimael Machine at third base. This man is 31. He is my age. Former VCU Ram legend. Cedar Rafaela, fleet of foot, plus defender out in center field. Hits a ground ball to Machine at third base. He trudges to third to get the force. Story's out. And throws a bang ball to first base that is ruled safe on the field. You look on video review and it is clear that Rafaela is out. Like frame by frame, and even on the Masson broadcast, he looked out. What good is MLB's office in New York or Toronto going to do? They're not going to overturn something that's that close. And of course, that would go on to bite him. Yennier Cano throws a wild pitch with David Hamilton at the plate. Again, game of his life. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Hits a routine pop-up to Dylan Beavers in left field. And Beavers kind of having an object permanence issue, looking out the corner of his eye for Gunnar Henderson, who was doing his due diligence on the ball, but there's no one in his general vicinity. He takes his eye off the ball and he overruns it. And 2 runs come in and score on a routine pop fly. That's how we got to 5-0. It was just a team that seemed uninterested in playing baseball. And we'll leave it at that. It's a focus thing. A lot of this is a focus thing. You could say that Samuel Basallo was so jacked to be in the major leagues that he is starting to swing at every first pitch. You start to see the strategy against him that they can bust him inside with the breaking ball and just get him to roll over on it. But then, to what end? There's got to be some come to Jesus moment here in the next month or so. Get this guy's development on track. Again, we're 9 games into this thing. It could be a lot. A lot could be fixed. It was a bad night. These last two games have just been so tough to watch because the talent's there. You know it's there. The O's carry on. 6:35 first pitch tomorrow on Masson. Brian Bayo is the Red Sox starter, right-hander. Very good this year. 10 wins? I think that's what it is. He's been a stud for them. 3.07 ERA. Shout out to Brian Bayo. The O's haven't officially announced their starter. However, Roansy Contreras, the right-hander from AAA Norfolk, was added to the taxi squad, and it is assumed that he will take on a bulk role tomorrow, if not outright starting the game. 28 appearances in Norfolk this year. Half of them have been starts. Roughly 90 innings pitched for Roansy Contreras. 3.73 ERA this year. Was a 1.2 WAR pitcher for the Pirates back in 2022. He has had success before at the major league level. This is a perfect time to give him an audition. Let him run wild with this thing. And we'll leave it at that. Final score tonight. The Boston Red Sox 5 and the Baltimore Orioles 0. Good night. Stay safe. And I will see you right back here tomorrow night.